Hello and welcome to the Sporting Index trading room for another edition of Views from the Trading Floor. Well folks, it's a very dark, damp and depressing morning down here in Kennington. We've had a bad week. Sporting Index got carried out by the United 6-0 victory and the Liverpool 5-0 victory. But we're here to fight back against you boys this weekend. It's the sort of weekend that really excites me, with wall-to-wall sports 24 hours a day, and our trading room will be very busy. Mrs. Chief at home, however, will not be so impressed with me hogging the sofa most of the weekend. Anyway, starting with football as always, very exciting game up in Scotland, north of the border this weekend at 12:30 on Saturday. We've got Hearts v Hibs. We've seen a lot of interest on the bookings there. 58.62, they're up from 56.60. I have to say the referee in this game has been quite lenient this season. His name's Kenny Clark, averages 34, the league only averages 39, and this fixture was 30 and 50 already this season. However, last year it averaged 80, so make of that what you want, but we've had a lot of punts from north of the border, one of which was £100 a point bar at 60, so they obviously fancy a hot Edinburgh derby here. The game we're really scared of this week after the punishment they dished out to us last week is Reading versus United. As we all know, Reading's been involved in a 6-4 and a 7-4 already this season. United beat Newcastle 6-0 last week with corner supremacy made up 16-1. That's where we got hurt very badly, as well as a £25 grand bar of total goals. Anyway, our total goals, we've had to move them up yet again. The punters have been wading in. They were 2.9, 3.1, up to 3 to 3.2. I should imagine I'll probably go off 3.1, 3.3 the way things are going. Biggest bet there we've had is £10,000 bar at 3.1. Just let you know, these games last season there were 5. They averaged 5 in every game, so that's not a great stat for us at this stage. Having said that, the opening game of the season at Old Trafford was 0-0, and that's what we're praying for. Not surprising, there's also been plenty of interest in corners on that game, and that we've had to move them up a quarter. Someone's bought 3,000 at 11 and a quarter. We're now going 11, 11 and a half. Big Kev's back. That's what they've been talking about all week, and not surprising, there's been a lot of interest in Newcastle supremacy this morning. We were 0.1, 0.3. We were 0.6 and 0.8. We've had to move that up to 0.7, 0.9 over Bolton. I have to say, I'm not sure there's a huge upside, but maybe the Keegan feel-good factor will really reignite them. But I would be personally reluctant to bet on that until we can really see if Keegan can work his magic or not. At 5:20, championship game, top of the table clash, Watford v Charlton, 34-38 the bookings, they were 32-36. Quite lenient referee there, so we're quite happy with the levels. We're getting short of those at the moment. Sunday, moving to Sunday, the team that just can't seem to get beaten at the moment, Everton, had lots and lots of bars of their supremacy, a 25 grand bar at 0.3, and it's gone from 0.2 to 0.4. And sellers in the 4 o'clock game there, Man City versus West Ham of total goals. We were 2.3, 2.5. We've got clients who's come on and sold 15,000 total goals there at 2.3. So that's why we've moved it down. Not surprised. If anyone watched that game on Wednesday night, they're probably still asleep and need a little nudge to wake up. Anyway, there's 26 live games in running this weekend. I think that's the most we've ever traded in running. So look at our website. There's lots of exciting football from all around the world, including the African Nations Cup, which I'm sure managers like Harry Redknapp and Arsene Wenger will be keeping a close eye on to recruit their next crop of promising youngsters. Rugby Union, this is right at the business end of the Heineken Cup, the last stage of the pool games, and some quite exciting games around. The only thing I'm concerned about is the weather's going to ruin the weekend. It's another terrible forecast this weekend. Saracens travel up to Glasgow. Glasgow need to beat them to hopefully qualify second in the group and go through. Saracens want to win the game, so they're top seed going into the quarter-final draw. Got Surrey 3-6, it was 2-5. The punters were quite impressed with their victory over Biarritz last weekend. We had a £500 a point bar this morning at 5, so that's why we've moved it up a bit. Total points have nudged down a bit. They were 37-40, but with things looking grim up north of the border, we've had to move them down a bit. And if anyone watched the Cass game last night, you'll see what an effect weather can have on a game of rugby. Biggest game I'm really looking forward to this weekend is Munster against Wasps. And we're going to go just a 2-point supremacy there, just a bit of value for the punters. It's going to be Munster over 4-6 on Saturday. The prices aren't released yet, but I've spoken to Al Fatal, our rugby correspondent, and he's told me he's going to go 4-6 on that game. No particular opinion to get either way. Wow, the NFL, great games last weekend. I watched all 4 of them. And yet again, 2 great conference championship finals this weekend. San Diego was sensational, but they did pick up key injuries to key players. And their 2 key players, Rivers and LaDainian Tomlinson, are still Tomlinson are still questionable for this weekend. I think LT will play. I'm not sure about Rivers. No surprise to see we've had to move up our supremacy on the New England game. We were 12-14, we've gone up to 13-15. Total points in that game, bit of interest there on the buys. They're 45-48, and again the shirt numbers have been some interest there. We're 3-1-5, 3-3-5. Big game is Giants at Green Bay. God, what a game that is. I have to say I was quite pleased with both their victories last weekend. Ended up lining the chieftain pockets quite nicely. But this game is supposed to be the second ever coldest game to be played in Green Bay. I'm told, reliably told, it's called Ice Bowl 2. The first one was 1967 when Green Bay played Dallas in the conference championship. 7 Fahrenheit. 7 Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that translates into Celsius, but it's going to be damn cold. That's all I can tell you. We've had plenty of interest in the Packers. They've gone up from 6-8 to 7-9, including a £1,000 a point buy there. And that's probably because the Giants are struggling with injuries and barely able to put out a side at the moment. But I have to say, this is going to come to a big battle of the quarterbacks. I think the 2 teams do match up well, and I think Eli Manning, personally, is a bit mentally suspect, although last month he's proved me completely and utterly wrong. So 7-9 the supremacy there. Points have been up from 38-41 to 39-42. People expecting a bit of high-scoring games. I have to say I think both of them got good defences. So, and Steve I think agrees with me, which is why he's happy to lay those bets. And as a result, we moved up shirt numbers from 240, 260 to 245, 265. One interesting thing to note from this game is that Ryan Grant, the running back for the Packers, earlier this season was a Giant in pre-season and was signed. What a signing that was for the Green Bay Packers. Last week he gave up 2 touchdowns in the first couple of minutes in the game, and everyone was like hands and heads. Oh my God, why did we play this rookie? Came back with 3 touchdowns. It was a magnificent game, and I promise you both these 2 will be well worth staying up for on Sunday evening. Cricket, lots of cricket on this weekend. There's a 2020 game this weekend. Today, in fact, between South Africa and the West Indies, we've seen lots of interest in supremacy there. We were 20-28 and we've gone down to 18-26. That might be on the back of the previous 2020 before the Test series, where South Africa were bowled out for a mere 58 by the West Indies and got absolutely cuffed. Don't forget that there's also the first one-day international between these 2 sides on Sunday, and we're going to be about 22-32 on supremacy there. So lots of cricket there for you, as well as the India-Australia game. So Australia going for a 17th record Test victory, and in a lot of trouble chasing 4-1-3. They're 65 for 2. And where we've seen a lot of interest is on supremacy this morning. India currently quoted at 65 to 80 overnight. We had £150 a point seller there at 20 earlier today, so we're quite happy with our position there at the moment. Having said that, our win indexes, we really do need to get Australia home, so positions all over the place. Anyway, there's so much more sport to bet on this weekend with Sporting Index. It's all on our website. You've got a lot of golf, 4 tournaments we're covering. Abu Dhabi, the Women's World Cup, MasterCard Championship, Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. Got the Tennis Australian Open, where we're providing an unbelievable in-running service on all games and always through the night as well. But if you've not looked at our tennis price at the moment, we provide something like 13 to 14 in-running prices during a game, which is a tremendous service, I have to say. So well done to the boys there. And don't forget, of course, there's the Snookers Masters that will be going late into Sunday evening. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing this weekend, be like me, couch potato, and tell Mrs. Chief to go away. Have a nice weekend.